So I've been working to get the K-Power Industries flywheel on, and this is with TSX bolts. I can put the link of this part in the description, these bolts that you need, because what you will get with the automatic K24 are these smaller bolts. Those will not work. So use the longer TSX bolts with the flywheel that they provide that's extended, and that's it. I put some Loctite in all those. I torqued them down with the torque gun just lightly, so now I'm going to go with my torque wrench, just make sure all those are good, and put a bar on the front of the crank just so it doesn't move. And once I have those nice and tight, I'm going to test fit the adapter plate and get that on, and if that fits as it should, I will put the clutch on the flywheel quickly and most likely stick the trans on tonight. That's the trans, it's the Get Rag 260, and it should be good. Everything else is, again, all set for the most part. I took the wire harness off just to avoid damaging it, moving the engine around like this on the hoist, on this tire, and on the engine stand. Yeah, once I get the trans on, I'll put the two little polyurethane motor mounts on those metal motor mounts, and I'll likely throw it in the car probably this week. I'm going to try to do my power steering before I throw this in though, just so I have room to work with. So I'm going to throw the clutch on, the adapter plate, make sure everything is good, and then try to wiggle the trans on. Alright, so I got the adapter plate on and I almost made a mistake. There is a dowel pin that goes right behind this. You can see it right there. It's the dowel pin that they provide, and half is a circle and the other half is like a half circle. That is there to line this up. I didn't put it at first, and the flywheel teeth were literally touching the adapter plate, but I put this dowel in there, made sure it was like even, and then put these 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3, I believe there's 19 mils, and everything looks good now. This is still the case starter. Looks like it's in perfect placement. I'm gonna have to trim the transmission for this piece here, but that's fine. That's in the instructions, but this looks good. I'm gonna torque these down. It's maybe like 30-40 foot-pounds. I'm not sure what they are. I'll look at the instructions, and then I'm gonna put the clutch on. Alright, so this is my clutch. I got a spec stage 4 clutch for an E46. Pretty sure the M3, same shit, 330i. Flywheel side. Make sure you get that right if you do this. I'm gonna try to avoid touching these. I think it's safe to touch them, but I'm not going to. There's a distinct difference between flywheel side and transmission side. So obviously it's gonna go that way onto the engine. I'm gonna get the pressure plate cleaned up quick, load this with the alignment tool, and then stick it on. Alright, the clutch is on. I got real scared because the pressure plate fingers were not even, and then I realized I didn't torque them all evenly yet. Torqued them all down to 20 foot-pounds, that's what it called for, and marked them. Everything looks good. Alignment tool goes right in there. Nice and smooth. And the friction disc looks like it's even all the way around. So I think the clutch is all set. Did a couple of bolts. These go from the back onto the adapter. 1, 2, and then the third one is the bottom starter bolt right there. Top starter bolt should be the OEM extended one that you can actually get to right there. And that's it. So I'm going to get the trans ready. I do have a brass dowel pin, or not brass dowel pin. I have like a brass pivot pin for the fork, the clutch release fork, or whatever it's called, throat release fork. I'm going to install that, make sure the pin is right, I'll make sure everything is good in there, and I'll likely try to slide it on just like this. It's going to be a little struggle, but I'll probably put it on that bucket just to be able to slide it. Alright, here's the transmission, the G260. Super small, fits on this picnic table, and it's pretty light, maybe like 50 pounds. A common failure point is that nylon pivot pin. It's literally nylon plastic. Fades after some time. You know, grinding up against this. Oh fuck, I don't remember which side this goes on. Oh, it goes like that. Yeah. Fades. So I'm gonna take this out and put a brass one or steel, whichever one I got. I don't remember. And I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, I got the pivot out. It took a little persuasion, but this is the new one. Alright, now that that is cleaned out, that slides right in there. Give it a little persuasion with the wood. Should be good. Alright, this is the extended throwout bearing that works with the whole kit. I lubed the shit out of this shaft. Alright, so the pivot pin is in. Greased up the pivot. Throwout bearing literally just sits on top of the arm like that. And then the slave comes right in here and pushes that and blah, blah, blah. That's how that works. I'm going to slide that in. And yeah, we good. I'm trying to put it on the engine now. Alright, so to fit the transmission onto this engine with this starter, you have to notch the transmission. So what I did was cut some parallel lines here, and I'm going to take my hammer and just kind of knock them out like that. There you go. Now you have a notched transmission. I'm going to take this flap disc right here, clean that up so it looks like it was intentional, and yeah, that's really it. Alright, so this is the final clearance section. I could have went a little more right here just to make it look even, but I think that'll work. We're going to test fit it right now and see what's up.
Angle right here, it looks wild.